as long as humans have existed, we've tried to hack love. The ancient Greeks brewed love potions from wine, herbs, sometimes even animal organs, hoping that one potent sip would convince their unwitting suitor to fall for them. Medieval matchmakers looked to the stars, trusting astrology to predict their perfect match. And in Victorian England, they turned to scent, with women dabbing on pheromone perfumes designed to turn a man's head and tilt the odds of romance in their favor. Today, of course, we have dating apps, compatibility quizzes based on our personality archetypes. We have AI relationship coaches to help us navigate conflict, and if we can stay in love long enough to procreate, we even have robots to rock our babies to sleep so that we don't have to. Our methods have changed over time, but the urge to somehow shortcut loving another person remains. But it never quite works, does it? Bad dates still happen, breakups still hurt, grief still wrecks us. And yet we persist on this mission, on this quest as old as time, and underpinning all of our efforts is this one relentless belief that connection can somehow be easier. That if we just find the right tool, trick, or timing, perhaps it won't all be as hard. I know this tension well because I spent most of my adult life designing tools to try and make love less difficult. When I was 21, I built something in my bedroom that sends the sound and feeling of your heartbeat to someone you love when you can't be with them, wherever they are in the world. Using it feels a bit like putting your head on someone's chest. It was only ever meant to be my university project, but it went viral on the internet, and today, 15 years later, it's still used in over 80 countries around the world, including in children's hospitals and in palliative care. And the thing that continues to amaze me is the world has changed so much in that time. We've had the rise of smartphones, wearables, virtual reality, so many innovative advances. But that piece of technology, with its one simple feature, hasn't changed. And I've come to realize it hasn't changed because it didn't need to. The world around us continues to evolve, but the same cannot be said for our emotional needs. So why do we keep trying to hack love? Why the relentless pull to orchestrate something so fundamentally human, this primal urge we're all born with? Well, it's because uncertainty makes us deeply uncomfortable. Psychologists call it uncertainty reduction theory. When we care about something, especially something unpredictable, we try to control it. We want to predict it, to mitigate the chances of damaging it or losing it. Love, well, love is pure uncertainty. It's emotional. There are no guarantees. And so we try to protect ourselves. We want the intimacy, but without the risk. And who can blame us? Because the risk is high. MRI scans have shown that the brain processes grief the same way it processes physical pain. Whether you lose a child or your husband of 20 years cheats on you, that pain is not happening in your imagination. It happens in your body. Our connection with the people we love is the most meaningful, but also the most terrifying thing in our lives. So it's only natural that we would do anything within our power to try and make that experience more predictable. The exponential rise of technology has in many ways exacerbated this desire. We live in a world now obsessed with optimization. We track our sleep, our steps, our stress. Entire industries have been built around optimizing how we live, work, and connect with each other. So it's no surprise that this has extended to love too. But yet again, it's not working. We have more dating options than ever, yet people are lonelier than ever before. We can communicate in an instant, yet so many of us feel constantly misunderstood. We share our lives more publicly than ever, and yet struggle to form genuine connection and find happiness in private. And with this abundance of tools and options comes something else. It's called decision fatigue. The more choices we have, with so many ways to connect at our fingertips, the harder it is to commit and the less satisfied we feel with whatever we choose. In trying to make love easier, we've managed to make it worse for ourselves. So why does love resist optimization? Why does hacking it never work? It's actually incredibly simple. Love isn't logical. It has no predefined patterns, no known constants. Love needs three things: time, repetition, and attention. And these are precisely the things that optimization tries to strip away. Add to this that we live in a modern world that has convinced us that if something is hard or inconvenient, then it's broken, or at least ripe for fixing. So when love doesn't feel easy or effortless, we treat it like a glitch in the system. But the truth is, meaningful connection requires effort. That's what gives it weight. Real connection is risky, sometimes messy, sometimes even boring. It's someone sitting with you when there's nothing left to say, reaching out to that friend even though it feels a bit awkward. It's deciding to try again for the kids. It's making the packed lunch day after day. Love resists our attempts to control it because it's not a process. It's not even a feeling. It is a practice. It is repetition. It is compromise. And we cannot shortcut it. There is another reason love resists optimization. This one's biological. Because despite our desire to eliminate it, we need the uncertainty. There's a concept in neuroscience called reward prediction error. Our brain doesn't release dopamine just because something feels good. It releases it when something feels better than expected. That's why the early stages of love feel so electric, because it's unpredictable, unscripted, full of those tiny surprises. The text message, the hand reaching for yours, a glance, your baby's first smile. We feel the rush precisely because we didn't see it coming. So when we try to optimize love to make it more efficient, predictable, and convenient, we strip away the very thing that made it feel exciting in the first place. We flatten the highs in pursuit of control, and in doing so, we dull the reward. The result of this, of all our attempts to streamline the process, is an experience that feels perhaps safer, but ultimately emptier. I've had the privilege of working at some of the most vulnerable ages of the human experience. The premature babies that might not make it, the tiny bodies of toddlers recovering from heart surgery. I've watched sobbing adults tenderly clutching the crepe paper hand of a dying parent, and I've seen time and time again what people reach for when things are fragile. And in those moments, the moments that strip life down to its very core, people don't want better features or gadgets. They don't want the shortcut. That thing I made 15 years ago hasn't changed because what people want hasn't either. We all want the same thing today as we wanted hundreds of years ago, to feel close to someone who matters. Because at our core, we're not built for efficiency. We're built for connection. We are reaching, sensing, feeling creatures wired to attune to one another. It's why we cry at films, why we wince when someone else gets hurt. We don't, and we cannot measure these moments in data, We just know when they matter. I'm often asked if I think technology will change how we love one another. The biggest threat to human connection is not technology. It's our persisting belief that it should be easy. It's thinking we can walk away from an argument and swipe right on someone new, that algorithms and automation will do the difficult bits of parenting for us, that someday, eventually, something will come along that irons out some of this messiness of being human. So what do we do with that? The question becomes not whether love should be easy, but what we do with its difficulty. We stop asking, how can I make this easier? And start asking, what makes this matter? Real connection isn't messaging faster or letting software make our next decision. It's rarely even a binary yes or no. It's what's left when we sit in the bits that we'd rather skip. The future we're building is not about moving faster, it's about being slower and more intentional with our efforts. Change is inevitable, but meaning lies in what endures. Because when the moment comes, and it always comes, we don't reach for a shortcut, we reach for each other. Thank you.